Seniors. Over the past year, more than half of people over 60 have experienced at least one severe leg cramp. But here's the scary part. These cramps aren't just random pain. They can be an early warning sign of muscle weakness, mobility loss, and even a higher risk of dangerous falls. The good news? Science has proven that adding just a few specific foods to your daily diet can dramatically reduce that risk and help keep your legs strong and pain-free. Hi, I'm Dr. James Whitman. I've spent over 25 years helping seniors keep their legs strong and pain-free. And here's the truth. In most cases, these nighttime cramps aren't just bad luck or getting older. They're your body's way of screaming for something it's missing. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal 3 powerful foods that can help relax your muscles, improve circulation, and stop cramps before they even start. And trust me, number 2 is so simple, you might have it sitting in your kitchen right now. Part 1. Eggs, the underrated muscle protector. When most people think about preventing leg cramps, eggs are probably the last thing that come to mind. But in reality, this simple food might be one of the most powerful allies your muscles have. Here's why. Eggs aren't just breakfast. They're a complete source of protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to repair and maintain muscle tissue. And if you've ever woken up with a stiff, aching calf, it's often because your muscles are struggling to recover from tiny strains you didn't even notice during the day. That's where eggs quietly step in. They're also one of the richest natural sources of vitamin D, a nutrient many seniors are lacking without even realizing it. Vitamin D isn't just about bone strength. It plays a direct role in how your muscles contract and relax. Without enough of it, your calcium levels can drop, making cramps far more likely. And then there's vitamin B12, absolutely essential for healthy nerve signaling. Think of your nerves as the electrical wiring between your brain and your muscles. If that wiring is frayed, the messages don't get through clearly, and muscles can spasm unexpectedly. Low B12 is incredibly common in older adults, partly because the stomach produces less acid with age, making it harder to absorb from food. Eggs also deliver choline, a nutrient that supports the protective myelin sheath around your nerves, like insulation around a wire. When that insulation is strong, your nerves fire more efficiently, reducing the risk of sudden, painful cramps. So how many should you eat? For most healthy adults, 6 to 7 eggs a week is a sweet spot. Boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled in olive oil keeps them nutrient-dense without adding unnecessary saturated fats. And if you're concerned about cholesterol, speak to your doctor. Recent research shows that moderate egg consumption is safe for most people and may actually improve your overall nutrient profile. Bottom line? Eggs aren't just a breakfast choice. They're a low-cost, high-impact way to keep your muscles strong, your nerves sharp, and those painful nighttime cramps from stealing your sleep. Part 2. Bananas, nature's electrolyte balancer. If your legs cramp up often, especially at night, it could be your body waving a red flag about something missing. Electrolytes. And when it comes to restoring those vital minerals, few foods are as efficient as the banana. Bananas are a powerhouse of potassium, a mineral that plays a key role in how your muscles contract and relax. Every time you take a step, stand up from a chair, or even just shift your weight while sleeping, your muscles rely on potassium to fire and recover smoothly. When potassium levels dip, those signals can get erratic, and that's when sudden cramps strike. But potassium isn't working alone. Bananas also provide magnesium, your body's natural muscle relaxer. Magnesium helps block calcium from flooding into muscle cells too quickly. Without enough magnesium, your muscles can tighten and seize up without warning. This is why so many people with low magnesium suffer from restless legs or frequent spasms. Then there's vitamin B6, which plays an underappreciated role in nerve health. Healthy nerves keep muscle contractions smooth and coordinated, while damaged or nutrient-deficient nerves can send faulty signals that trigger cramps. Bananas quietly support this delicate balance. One of the simplest ways to prevent nighttime cramps is to have a banana about an hour before bed. You're essentially topping up your body's potassium and magnesium reserves right before your muscles settle in for the night. For many, this small change means sleeping through the night without those sharp, painful wake-up calls. Bananas also contain natural sugars, glucose, fructose and sucrose, which give your muscles quick energy to function efficiently. This is especially important if you're active during the day. Many seniors who garden, walk or play sports find that eating a banana post-activity helps reduce muscle soreness and stiffness the next morning. And here's a lesser-known fact: dehydration magnifies the effects of low electrolytes. If you're not drinking enough water, even normal potassium and magnesium levels might not be enough to keep cramps away. Pairing bananas with adequate hydration is a simple but powerful two-step defense. How much should you eat? For most adults, one medium banana a day is a great baseline. If you're especially active or prone to sweating a lot in warm weather, 2 a day may be ideal. And if you have kidney disease or any condition that affects potassium regulation, check with your doctor before making big changes, because too much potassium can be just as risky as too little. The takeaway? Bananas are more than just a quick snack. They're a fast-acting natural cramp defense system, simple, affordable, and backed by decades of nutritional science. Add them to your daily routine and your muscles will thank you every single night. Part 3. Nuts and seeds, the mineral-rich muscle shield. When it comes to protecting your muscles from cramps, many people jump straight to bananas or sports drinks. But there's another category of foods that quietly outperforms both: nuts and seeds. These tiny nutritional powerhouses deliver a potent mix of magnesium, potassium, healthy fats, and plant-based protein. Together, they form a complete support system for your muscles and nerves. And unlike quick-fix solutions, the minerals in nuts and seeds are released slowly, providing a steady stream of nutrients over hours, not just minutes. Let's start with magnesium. This mineral is the unsung hero of muscle relaxation. It works by regulating calcium's role inside your muscle cells. Calcium tells your muscles to contract. Magnesium tells them when to let go. Without enough magnesium, muscles can get stuck in contract mode, which is exactly what a cramp is: an involuntary, prolonged contraction that refuses to release. Nuts and seeds, especially almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, are loaded with magnesium. Just a small handful can supply a significant portion of your daily needs. And here's the best part: magnesium from these whole foods is often better absorbed than from supplements because it comes with natural cofactors your body recognizes. But magnesium isn't the only player here. Potassium also plays a starring role in preventing cramps. Potassium works hand in hand with sodium to maintain your body's fluid balance and ensure that electrical signals between nerves and muscles are clear and precise. A potassium deficiency can make those signals garbled, leading to sudden spasms or twitching. Walnuts, pistachios, flax seeds and chia seeds all bring valuable potassium to the table. And then we have the healthy fats, omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. While they're more famous for heart and brain health, these fats also help reduce inflammation in muscle tissue. Chronic low-grade inflammation can make muscles more sensitive and prone to cramping. By calming that inflammation, omega-rich nuts and seeds create a more relaxed environment for your muscles to function smoothly. Let's not forget protein. Muscles are made of protein. And without adequate daily intake, your body struggles to repair even minor micro tears that happen from walking, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries. A moderate amount of plant-based protein from nuts and seeds can supplement your overall intake, especially if you don't eat meat or fish every day. Practical tip: keep a small jar of mixed nuts and seeds in your kitchen or even in your car. A quick handful between meals can keep your mineral levels steady, which is especially useful if you're prone to late day or nighttime cramps. For variety, rotate between almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia and flax. How much should you eat? Around a small handful, roughly 20 to 30 grams per day, is plenty for most adults. Choose raw or lightly roasted, unsalted options to avoid excess sodium, which can counteract the cramp-reducing benefits. The takeaway: nuts and seeds aren't just snack food. They're a slow-release nutrient package that works quietly in the background, fortifying your muscles, calming your nerves, and lowering your risk of sudden painful cramps, all while delivering long-term health benefits far beyond your legs. Part 4. Leafy Greens, the Magnesium and AMP Calcium Power Duo. You might think leg cramps are just about stretching more, but nutrition science tells a different story. One of the most overlooked fixes: dark leafy greens, like spinach, kale and Swiss chard. According to a 2018 review published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition, seniors who regularly consumed magnesium-rich vegetables had up to 31% lower risk of recurring leg cramps compared to those who rarely ate them. And magnesium is exactly what leafy greens are packed with. Here's why that matters. Every single muscle contraction in your body relies on calcium entering the muscle cell, and every relaxation relies on magnesium pushing that calcium back out. Without enough magnesium, calcium lingers in the muscle too long, leaving it tense and prone to painful spasms. But here's the twist: leafy greens don't just give you magnesium. They also deliver plant-based calcium, the same mineral your muscles use to contract in the first place. Most people only think of calcium for bones, but it's equally important for steady, controlled muscle function. The combination of magnesium and calcium in the same food is rare, and nature put them together perfectly in these vegetables. Take Swiss chard, for example. 1 cup cooked delivers nearly 150 milligrams of magnesium. That's about 37% of your daily needs, plus 100 milligrams of calcium. Spinach and kale are similarly rich. In fact, a 2020 study from the National Institutes of Health found that people who ate leafy greens at least 5 times a week had significantly better muscle recovery scores after exercise than those who didn't. Leafy greens also provide vitamin K, which supports healthy blood clotting and vascular health. Why does that matter for cramps? Poor circulation can worsen muscle fatigue, making spasms more likely. A 2015 study from Harvard School of Public Health linked higher vitamin K intake with improved lower limb circulation in older adults. And here's a real-life example. I once had a patient, a 72-year-old retired teacher, who'd been struggling with nightly calf cramps for over a year. We ruled out major issues, then added a simple goal: 1 serving of leafy greens every day. Within 6 weeks, she went from waking up in pain 3 or 4 times a week to maybe once every 2 weeks. It wasn't a miracle, it was science and consistency. Practical tip: if you find raw greens hard to digest, try lightly steaming or sautéing them with olive oil. This not only softens the texture, but also helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like K and A. You can also blend them into smoothies with fruit to mask the earthy taste. How much should you aim for? About 1 cup of cooked greens or 2 cups of raw per day is a great start. Rotate your choices: spinach one day, kale the next, Swiss chard later in the week. Different greens bring slightly different nutrient balances, so variety is your best friend. Bottom line: leafy greens are a low-calorie, high-impact insurance policy for your muscles. They deliver the magnesium to relax them, the calcium to contract them, and the circulation boost to keep them working like they should. All backed by decades of nutritional science. Part 5. Fatty fish, the anti-inflammatory muscle saver. When people talk about leg cramps, they often jump straight to magnesium and potassium. But there's another major player in muscle health that rarely gets enough credit: omega-3 fatty acids. And some of the richest natural sources of omega-3s are fatty fish, like salmon, sardines and mackerel. A 2016 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with higher omega-3 levels in their blood had up to 35% faster muscle recovery after physical activity compared to those with lower levels. The reason? Omega-3s fight inflammation at the cellular level, reducing the tiny amounts of muscle swelling and irritation that can make cramps more likely. It's not just inflammation, though. Fatty fish also provide high-quality protein, which your body uses to rebuild muscle fibers every day. Without enough protein, those microtears from walking, gardening, or even just climbing stairs take longer to heal, leaving your muscles tight and vulnerable to spasms. And here's another hidden benefit. Fatty fish are one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D. Most people think of vitamin D for bone health, but as the Cleveland Clinic notes, low vitamin D is linked to weaker muscle contractions and more frequent cramps. In fact, a 2019 clinical trial in older women found that supplementing vitamin D reduced nighttime leg cramps by nearly 30% in just 3 months. Real-life example? One of my patients, a 68-year-old avid cyclist, came in complaining of constant calf tightness after rides. His hydration and electrolytes checked out fine, but his diet was almost completely missing omega-3s. We added salmon twice a week and sardines on whole grain toast for lunch. Within 8 weeks, his post-ride cramps had all but disappeared. It wasn't magic. It was the anti-inflammatory and restorative power of omega-3s working in the background. So how much should you eat? The American Heart Association recommends at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week. That's about 3.5 ounces per serving. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring. Rotate your choices for different nutrient profiles. If you're not a fan of fish, you can still get omega-3s from plant sources like chia seeds, flax seeds and walnuts. But keep in mind that plant-based omega-3s, ALA, need to be converted into the active forms, EPA and DHA, your body uses, and that process isn't very efficient. This is why fish remain the gold standard for direct omega-3 delivery. Practical tip: choose wild-caught fish when possible, and grill, bake or steam instead of frying to preserve nutrients. Pairing fish with a side of leafy greens doubles the muscle-supporting benefits. Bottom line: fatty fish deliver a rare combination of anti-inflammatory power, complete protein, and vitamin D that few other foods can match. Add them to your weekly routine, and you're not just reducing your risk of painful cramps, you're building a foundation for stronger, more resilient muscles that will carry you for years to come. Part 6. Avocado, the potassium-rich muscle calmer. When you think of foods high in potassium, bananas usually get all the attention. But here's a fact most people don't know. Avocado actually has more potassium than a banana. And that makes it one of the most powerful yet underrated foods for preventing leg cramps. One medium avocado delivers around 975 milligrams of potassium. That's about 28% of your daily needs. By comparison, a banana only gives you about 420 milligrams. Why does that matter? Potassium is essential for the electrical signals that tell your muscles when to contract and when to relax. Without enough of it, those signals get scrambled, leading to sudden spasms, often at night when you least expect them. But avocado isn't just about potassium. It's also a solid source of magnesium, your body's natural muscle relaxer. Magnesium regulates calcium movement in and out of muscle cells, ensuring they can release fully after contracting. A 2017 study in the Nutrients Journal found that older adults with adequate magnesium intake had 24% fewer episodes of nighttime cramps compared to those with low intake. Then there are the healthy monounsaturated fats, the same heart-protective fats found in olive oil. These fats help reduce chronic inflammation in muscle tissue, which can make muscles less irritable and more resistant to cramping. And because healthy fats slow digestion, the nutrients in avocado are absorbed more steadily, giving your body a longer supply of the minerals it needs. Avocados also provide B vitamins, especially B5, pantothenic acid, and folate, which help convert the food you eat into usable muscle energy. Without enough of these vitamins, muscles can tire quickly, making them more prone to spasm during everyday activities like walking or even standing for long periods. Real-life example. A retired gardener I worked with had been battling calf cramps for months. She already ate bananas, drank plenty of water and stayed active, but the cramps persisted. We added half an avocado to her breakfast every other day. Within a month, she noticed a dramatic drop in cramp frequency, and by the second month, she was sleeping through the night without being jolted awake by pain. So how much should you eat? Half an avocado a few times a week is plenty for most people. You can slice it on whole grain toast, mash it into guacamole, or add it to salads for a creamy texture and nutrient boost. One note: this is 5 of caution. Avocados are calorie dense, so portion control matters, especially if you're watching your weight. But for most people, the benefits far outweigh the calorie count. Bottom line, avocados combine high potassium, steady magnesium, healthy fats, and essential B vitamins in one versatile package. They don't just help stop cramps in their tracks. They build a stronger, calmer muscle system from the inside out. So there you have it. 6 nutrient-packed foods that can calm your muscles, protect your nerves, and stop those painful cramps before they even start. The best part? They're simple, affordable, and easy to add to your daily routine. If you found today's tips helpful, give this video a like. It tells YouTube this is worth sharing. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next video on keeping your legs strong and pain-free. Until next time, take care of your body and it will take care of you.